You know, for some people, limiter is just a tool to make their mixes louder. And it's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes it is crucial to know a little bit more about advanced limiter settings to not ruin your hard-earned mix. In this video, I'm going to show you some of them, but first we need to limit something. I'm using our limiter plugin, and one of the coolest features on board is how easy it is to set a starting point. Whether you're releasing your music on streaming platforms, YouTube, CD, or even vinyl, built-in limiter presets ensure optimal levels for all those mediums. So I'm aiming to release this track on Spotify. But since it is not a loudness competitive genre, let's use this preset. Don't worry, we'll get into loudness levels in a bit. After clicking Analyze, you will get target ranges for link, attack, and ceiling. Those suggestions will give you the best results, although they are not hard and fast rules. Therefore, it is important to understand how all parameters work and how they affect your audio. Since majority of listeners are using streaming platforms, loudness war is officially over. After all, every major streaming service have a normalization algorithm. Of course, there are some genres in which we are aiming for super loud level, but you should always focus on getting great sound rather than squashing your master as loud as possible. That's where attack, release, and link parameters comes into play. As you may know, limiter is a kind of compressor. Thus, attack takes care of how fast gain reduction sets in. Longer attack will allow more transients to punch through, but can cause audible distortion if you push the gain more. To be safe and ensure less distortion, aim for shorter attack times, but be aware of sacrificing loudness. Release refers to how quickly gain reduction returns to zero. It will be great to always have the smoothest limiting, but for that you need longer release times, which may cause a weird pumping effect. In opposite to attack times, shorter release may introduce distortion. Limiter Intelligent Auto Release function will make plugin automatically adapt to changes in your audio for extra smooth results. You may ask, what's up with the link? Unfortunately, it's not a magic knob to link you up with biggest labels, but it also helps you with making more people listen to your music. Because it's all about correlation. By setting it to 0%, limiter processes left and right channels independently. That will give you more loudness. Although if there is a big difference in those, it will affect your stereo image. 100% link value means processing left and right channels together. That will give you a rock solid stereo image, but a little bit less loudness. Now let's talk about parameter which determine your final sound. The ceiling knob. During digital to analog conversion, the closer to 0 dB full scale your master is, the greatest chance you have of producing intersample peaks. Best practice is to avoid them, since they produce unwanted artifacts which are audible in consumer playback systems and lossy formats of majority streaming services. Your best move to get rid of them is to use true peak limiting, which in limiter is enabled by default. Some say that it affects your sonic balance, warmth and punch, and if you agree with that, you can always turn it off in the settings. But by doing so, you need to leave more headroom by lowering ceiling to -1 or even -2 dB true peak. In that case, limiter true peak meter will turn red if you surpass the threshold, which is a signal to lower the ceiling even more. Yeah, we all know that redlining is headlining, but let DJs crank up their consoles rather than aim to destroy them. The unique feature of our limiter plugin is the ability to add harmonic distortion and transient enhancements before your signal goes into the limiter. And yes, I know and agree that final limiter should be as transparent as possible. But it is good to check how your master will sound by introducing even more loudness and punchiness. Both sliders are very effective and easy to use, yet take a note that they increase level. You will need to reset gain slider target range and analyze your track again. My experience taught me that the best practice is to check effects for yourself. That's where both delta and bypass functions come in clutch. By clicking delta, you can hear the difference between input and output. It lets you hear how your adjustments affect your audio. And since louder always sounds better, the bypass function automatically matches the signal level. This allows you to preview your audio before and after processing for fair comparison between the two. Hope that this video will help you understand adjustments to make on your way to professional sounding masters. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more mixing and music production tips.